Yeah. This match. Yeah, this match finally was the straw that broke the camel's back for people, it seems. So, this match, Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes on Christmas Day of AEW Rampage for the TNT Championship. This is a rematch that has been that's been building since the first Dynamite. Yeah, this is honestly the most amazing thing about this. The fact that they have not locked horns since the first Rampage, if you exclude tag team matches. That's saying about AEW's patience with Ray matches, essentially. That should tell you that they took it's going to be 3 years on 2 years and 3 months to finally do this match again. And I'm amazed at it. So, they wanted to do a Christmas Day episode of Rampage due to being the holidays, so they did. TNT Championship main event, Holiday Bash, Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. The spoilers came out, people spoiled it, and the internet went into an uproar. Like, oh god. Like, I was annoyed, but I wasn't like blithering hatred annoyed. I was just annoyed, like, what was the point of doing that? Like, I know for Sammy Guevara, it was for his reign, it wasn't really as good as it could have been. I'll admit that it wasn't as good as it could have been, probably because they kind of focused away from that and focused more on his feud with Inner Circle going on against the War Against America's top team. That hurt it a lot. So I was like, why not just give it back to Miro? And especially since Cody last week were supposedly dealing with Malachi. Like, this is kind of an annoying thing I have, and this goes for a lot of wrestling stuff. So, yeah. Sammy Guevara took on Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship at AEW Rampage to cap off on December 26th. It was pandemonium for a lot of people. Because everyone hated Cody. Everyone hates Cody Rhodes for the crime of existing. I'm like, I know he did that patriotic stuff, which was annoying and everything, but like, how many times did Cena do America, F yeah? Or how they put, or you know, the other place that portrays foreigners like they're either anti-American or they're blithering idiots. But moving on from that, Cody Rhodes fighting Sammy Guevara. It was everything you knew it was going to be. It was going to be a good match. These two are very talented people. They were very insane in their stuff. And the ending is what really drove people insane, because Cody, because he doesn't know because he thinks sledgehammers are subtle, decides to entertain the idea of doing a pedigree instead as a Tiger Driver 98 to get the victory after 2 crossroads over Sammy, and wins the TNT title for the 3rd time. And the internet went, even though they knew days beforehand what was going to be it, were in a massive uproar. They hated Cody a lot. And Cody goes ahead and has his entourage, along with David Crockett, come out and present the TNT title to him, because Cody has to have this overinflated sense of power. Yeah, this is the thing. He has to be turning heel. There is no way you can do this. Tranquilo Club made a video talking about the great supervillain origin story that is Cody Rhodes and his storyline. And it's a good video. Check it out. But I am so confused of how they're going about this. Even for, I'm an AEW fan, and I knew certain angles where they were going with Hangman. Like, I knew since he was going to be a father, they were going to delay the title reign probably, and when they did, it was like, okay, that's understandable, but you only have one chance of delaying it, and that was your chance. But now, I don't get this story with Cody. I really don't. And I think people are more annoyed because really look at it from another angle. People are kind of getting the Buddy Murphy, Tom Aleister Black feud kind of vibe. Like, remember that feud where Aleister Black beat Buddy Murphy every single time? And yet at the end of all this, in the aftermath, he gets thrown to the side and Buddy Murphy's the one getting the push. Like, that's kind of the thing I think people are really annoyed about. It's this thing people have with it. I think that's the vibe they're getting from this. Like, Malachi beat this guy twice. He kicked his ass multiple times. He just psychologically destroyed him. He made the fans turn on him. And yet, he's doing this faction thing, which is awesome. He's forming the House of Black more and more with Brodie King, because that's the obvious route they're going with. If they go with Swerve, I'll be surprised. But the idea that Cody gets the title and Malachi just gets an additional faction group, it's kind of, I can understand if that's what set people off, because this is exactly what WWE pulled. Whereas Buddy Murphy lost every match with Aleister Black to get pushed into Seth Rollins' faction and actually get tag team title runs, when Aleister Black was just originally going to look like he was going to win the Rumble, but then Vince stepped in and said, no, he can't win it. He can't fight Brock Lesnar. We're going to give it to Drew, and thus ruining whatever plans Paul Heyman had and kind of sealing his fate that he is not in control of Raw as he thought he was. But yeah, despite how good this match was, despite it that this match is probably better than their first outing in my opinion, beyond just being a championship match, that is the ending match that people took away from this. And then people started drawing a lot of reasoning to hate Cody for absurd reasons, where they go this route of this, because AEW posted on Twitter this big wallpaper with Cody Rhodes and the red and green lighting for Christmas, and then there was someone that was making it a racist comment by saying, oh, he's mocking Mexico and their colors. And I was like, you do realize it's Christmas Day, right, dude? So, yeah, that confused me to no end. And then, subsequently, the Tribalists went insane. The AEW fanbase, who are sick of Cody, went insane. Everyone went insane. It was a bad night all around, as much as I enjoy this match. If they are indeed going with the Cody turning heel route, then I feel like that would forgive a lot of the issues people had with it, save for probably the Malachi Black stuff, because Malachi beat this guy multiple times, and yet he's not in the championship match. Cody is. He had to beat another person up to do it, and not the guy who kept owning him every single time. So, yeah. And once again, the fact that they overblow this to the extreme, it's like, this has to go a heel run. This is going to a heel route. Like I said, Tranquilo Club posted a video about Cody being basically having a supervillain origin story, which, if that is in fact the route they're going with, I will gladly forgive everything they did. But it all depends on the factor that Cody has to turn heel officially, not just have us to have a speculation of is he turning into a supervillain? If this is the comic book route of a long form storytelling, then okay, fine, maybe if that's the route they're going with. I don't know. I'm hoping it is. And Cody still does the honor system by holding on to that deal. Like, I lost the world title match. I said I would never challenge him for it again. And plus, that would be the super easy route. Instead, he could just go and use the TNT title round as his way to keep power. But yeah, it's so confusing of how they're going about this in my eyes. I don't know why. It just is. It just confuses me. It's the most weirdest form of heel run ever, I feel. And I don't know why, honestly. It just does for me. It just really confuses me how they're going about this. I hope there's a great payoff. I hope Cody finally snaps at the fans, because ever since he deleted his Twitter account, because, well, let's be real, the hate got really insane. Cody had to delete his Twitter at one point, and yeah. But then he wrote this after the match, after he won the match, saying, don't be a heel, don't be a babyface, be a winner, be you. But it's like, so it's like Bo Dallas. I get the Bo Dallas vibe, where he thinks he's the hero and he's the good guy, and, you know, Cena was the good guy, and I'm worried if they go the Cena route, that's not going to help much. I'm like, other than him making, I mean, like, the only difference between Cena and Cody is that Cena would joke heel run, Cody would verbally address it. Whereas Cena would just make a joke saying, I turned my heel. Does that count? No. Okay. So we're in this conundrum. I don't know what the end goal is. Maybe they'll break the fourth wall again. Maybe they'll say it. Maybe they'll finally do it. We'll have to see. I'm hoping it ends well and doesn't go overboard with the tribalists any further than it already is, especially considering what happened with Sammy Guevara this last week and Ty Conti and his now ended engagement thing that they broke up back in October over, but everyone doesn't care about that because they want to make up with stuff. It was just a bad week all around on that. So, yeah. And I really am still pissed at how people overblow this whole thing because, well, we think they're dating, so therefore we think it's a fact. Except we have no evidence. We have literally no evidence, and we shouldn't even be going that deep into people's personal lives, I feel like. Like, I don't go ahead and find out, oh, John Cena and Nikki broke up, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure Miss is gonna make a joke out of it. But really, that was it. When I heard that, I was like, okay. Can I get, like, wrestling stuff talked about? I'm like, that's their stuff. That's their business. Best Miss is going to make a joke about it and say he won and he was right or something. But that's the character playing and making a story out of it, not reality. So, yeah. It's just a mess all around now. Code and like Twitter and like AEW, when they posted that wallpaper, they disabled the comments. They knew this would get too much hate. Sadly, they can't turn on quote retweets, so that didn't help much. But yeah, it was bad. It was a bad night for fans of Cody, and a bad night for anyone who liked Sammy Guevara having to see this issue prolonged. And Tribalists had a field day with it. It was just bad. It was bad. But the match was good. But the ending is what made people so mad. It's like, yeah. But yeah, Cody is now the first ever 3-time champ in AEW as the TNT champion. Let's see how he runs with it. Let's see if the superhero origin story that Tranquilo Club has made will be proven correct for the long run. And we'll see if they do that, they finally drop the pretense and just go full on Homelander with him. Plus, we need to give him laser vision, so that will help. Will we see that? Hopefully. We just have to wait and see, sadly. And I hope we get something at the end of all this. But that's about it, everybody. This was Near Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse, presenting Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara, round 2 of AEW Rampage, Holiday Bash for the TNT Championship. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see y'all next time. Take peace and take care, and have a good night, and I hope you all enjoy your New Year's.